Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is a beautiful Monday here. I hope it is shaping up to be fabulous wherever you are. If you, of course, you're in the other hemispheres, it would be Sunday evening. Hope your Sunday evening is going fantastically, beautiful and awesomely. So what I wanted to chat with you about today is all about, hey, Georgina, is not all about Georgina, although she is fabulous. What we're talking about today is all things planning and the way that I go through and do what it is that I'm going through. Now, before I get stuck into that, I know that there are a lot of things that I will say, and some of them are quite contradictory, right, at various different times. But the thing that I always find is that if I'm feeling like, for whatever reason, I'm not necessarily tapping into that really fun, beautiful flow state. Hey, Catherine, good morning. And, you know, maybe things are feeling a bit hard, or maybe I'm feeling pressured around money, or maybe I'm feeling pressured around creativity and things like that. I find that I revert back to one thing. And there's another thing, actually, sometimes when I'm in a beautiful flow state where I'm doing all of the things that I'm doing and things are really flowing beautifully and content's just sort of pouring out of me and things are really fun and awesome, I'll often revert back to this process as well, just in terms of making sure, I guess, that I'm able to ride the momentum wave. Right? And this is what it's all about, really. It's about riding the momentum wave. Now, in case you missed it, I was chatting to Guy Sebastian on Friday, and he was telling me about how exciting it's been since his 60-minute interview, how things are just kind of like, they've just gotten busier, they've gotten a bit more hectic, and how he was going to need to take a nap on Friday. But most importantly, it was around, he's got this new tour that he's promoting, and he said it's been a really fun experience. And I said, well, you know, this is what it's all about, right? It's all about creating momentum and then riding the wave. And it was a really kind of cool conversation. And yes, he is exactly in person as gracious and as lovely as he appears to be online and in interviews and stuff. So what I wanted to chat with you guys about today is a way of being able to ensure that you're able to, if you're looking at creating the momentum, it's how we create the momentum. And also, if you've already got that momentum happening, how to ride off the back of that momentum as well. Now, for me, there's been one thing really, and one thing only, like one surefire tool, system, strategy, whatever you want to call it, that has really since 2011 saved my ass more times than I can count. It has helped me make more than $5 million in that time. It's made me, you know, be able to show up and do the things that I do with you guys every day. It's a thing that enables me to run events. It's a thing that's enabled me to be able to build this really, you know, surprising and fun kind of positioning that I've got out in the world, and enabled me to do everything that I do. So most days, without feeling like things are going completely scarily out of control. Some days it's like that, but that's when I revert back to this process. So the process that I use first and foremost is something that I call my, just my badass planner, right? It's a badass planner. And what I do is I get really clear. Usually I get this set up at the start of the year, but I'll revisit it at different times depending on what it is that's going on. And the first thing that we always do is start out with what is it that you, and that I don't ask, when I'm doing this, I'm not like, what is it that you want to achieve? Like I'd be asking myself, what is it that I really want to achieve over the course of this year? So I'm looking at calendar year, right? So over the course of this year, what is it that I want to achieve? Not just financially, although that is a big question that you want to ask yourself. Like, how much money do you want to make this year? Is it $100,000? Is it $250,000? Is it $500,000? Is it $1 million? Like, is it $10 million? Whatever it is, the answer is the answer. How do you want to feel? What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be celebrating with? What are you noticing? What are you doing? All of that kind of stuff, right? So it's not just about the money. because we know that money for the sake of money doesn't actually really mean anything. It's like a hammer doesn't mean anything until you go to pick it up and you start using that hammer to hammer in the hook that you're going to use to put up that beautiful picture that you've bought, right? So what is it that you're going to feel, do, be able to have as a result of that money? So then we bring that down. It's like, okay, we know what you want to do, what you want to be feeling, how much money you want to make, all of that type of stuff. Then we break that down. And the way that I like to break that down is into 90-day blocks, right? So 3-month blocks. So at the moment, we're in the second quarter of the year. So we would actually be looking at April, May, June for this quarter, for instance, and July, August, September, and obviously October, November, December. So in this block of 90 days, and you would do this at the start of the 90 days, considering we're in the middle of June, you would have a look at what you're going to do in the next block, the next lot of 90 days. So July, August, September. Then it's like, okay, so we've got our annual thing that we're really clear on, and then we've got to break that down into, all right, what is it that you now want to do over the next 90 days in order to help roll into that? So let's say that you want to have your membership site working. Maybe you want to have a book written and published by the end of the year. Maybe you want to have 100 clients. Maybe you want to have international speaking engagements. Maybe you want to have podcast interviews booked. Whatever it is, like, write it as if it's already happened though, right? I'm being invited onto international podcasts. I'm being invited to speak internationally. I've got my book published and in store. You know, what is it for you as if it's happened? And then for this 90 days, again, you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to declare what it is that you will have done. So your declaration for this 90 days might be, I have got my book plan done. I have got my podcast interviews or the topics that I can talk about. I've got that sorted. I've got my marketing rolled out for your next beautiful big ass showcased event that you're going to be running, whatever the case might be. Out of that 90-day set of things that you want to achieve, the next thing that we're going to have a look at doing is over the next month, right? So we're going to assume that we're rolling out from the 1st of July. So July, August, September. So when you're looking at those 90-day goals, I want you to now go, all right, in July, what am I going to focus on doing? So let's say it's pick one thing. So let's pick that podcast thing, for example, and then go, all right, so in July, what can I do for this podcast? What marketing could I do? What topics am I going to create? Who am I going to approach? You might break it down. There's no mind. You will break it down into something that's a little bit more smaller, bite-sized types of chunks, right? And then once you've gone through each topic, so the book plan, all right, specifically over this next month, what are you going to do? And that might be to outline chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. It might be if you are looking at, what else do you guys want to do? Tell me, pop it up in the comments, what it is that you might like to do. It might be about blogging, getting your blogging series created. It might be about launching a new course. Let's say it's launching a new course, for instance, and you want to launch that new course on the 1st of August. So in July, what do we need to do? So you would need to market. So break that down into the things that you would need to do. You need to get the imagery sorted. So you break that down. You need to get the course content outlined. When are you going to do that? So you get to then break each section down and really drill it down into what it is that you need to do over those 30 days in order to make it fly. There might be something that you need to learn, like how to install payment processes into your website, for instance, or how to write a sales page, or whatever the case might be. Once you've got that 30-day, essentially that 30-day list of the things that you need to do, then it's like, all right, so week 1, what are you actually going to do? So week 1, it might be, I'm going to do the research. I'm going to approach these people. I'm going to go and sign up for the domain name. I'm going to go and register it. I'm going to go and record the first 3 episodes. I'm going to go and seek out a designer. Whatever it is that it needs to happen, you're going to break that down into a weekly focus point. So, and then what you're going to end up with is something that looks like this. So this is my plan for this week. And what it does for me is it helps me, what I love about it is that it helps me stay really focused, right? So it helps me to go, oh, yep, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. Now, if I've got ideas over the course of today, for instance, where I'm like, oh, I really need to, this actually happened this morning. I've printed this off and I'm like, right, I need to do some blog filming. So it's like, all right, what day am I going to allocate that into? And I've actually put it into tomorrow. So I've penciled that in. Other times what I'll do, if I've got this idea and I execute it immediately, I'll put it on the list and then cross it off, because I love to have that sense of achievement and feeling like I've done what needed to be done and ticked it off. So what happens then, so I've got all of my Monday things all down here and then broken up into different sections and different categories, which we don't need to go into today. But say there's something on here that hasn't been done. So for instance, one of the things that I know that I need to start doing, not this week, but I need to start doing, is start talking about Visible Live, which is a 3-day in-person boot camp happening in August. And I've got that in here. And if I don't do that today, I'll transfer it to one of the other days this week and make sure it gets allocated in, and then I'll kind of like scrub it out of the Monday column so that it's allocated to another day to do. That way I don't miss something, and I'm also not getting to the end of the day going, didn't get that thing done. That really kind of sucks. So anything that I feel like I need to be on top of or reminded about gets put into the planner, gets put into my badass planner. So that's how I kind of manage my week. Now, I don't go and then, other than these live streams, like that is on the list. You know, it's a daily thing and it's still on the list of the things that I need to do. So what I will do is I'm like, okay, cool. I've got that down. Once we hop off today, I'll scrub it off the list and then make sure that it's all done. What I then do, so on Friday, I'll go through and I'll highlight anything that didn't get translated to a different day, and I'll allocate it into a day for next week. Now, here's the thing. If there's stuff that comes up that I haven't actioned and it's still being transferred like from one week to the next, and I actually did this morning. What did I have in there? Oh, golly, I had something in my planner from, I can check it. I had something in my planner from last week, and I'm like, Nicola, you're not going to talk about that. Turn the manifesto into a download for printing and promoting, right? So I was going to do that. It was on my planner last week and the week before. And this morning I'm just like, come on, who are we kidding? It's been sitting there for 2 weeks now. You know you're not going to do anything with it. So it didn't make it into this week, right? So there might be some things, and this is where you've got to hold yourself really accountable, and you've got to be really open and honest with yourself. It's like, is that a wish list thing or is it an actual thing that I'm going to do, right? Let me know that this is making sense for you guys. Then what happens? So on Friday, I'll have a look through and it's like, yeah, okay, these things need to be transposed over into next week. Are there any projects? So I'll go back and look at my 30-day goals. Are there any projects, or is there anything that needs to be added into this week? So for instance, if I'm having a look at what I wanted to do over the 30 days. Okay, so I wanted to get the podcast audio uploaded daily. I know I've done that. But I actually haven't got that in my, let's say, I've got that one in there all the time. Let's say it's like the early bird for 2019 Visible. So I know that I haven't got that in here for this week. So next week, I've got to make sure that the Visible Live promotion goes into the week's plan for next week. So you keep revisiting 30 days, what needs to come in, add that in, and then get that down. And then at the end of the month, you're going to look at the 90-day plan and then redo your 30 days and then the week. So that's how I do that. everybody. Now, what I can do, if you would love a copy of the blank plan, let me know. Just comment on here or message me your email address and I'll shoot it through for you. I'll shoot the links through for you. This is also, excuse me, this is also what we're basing the relentlessly badass radical implementation challenge on. So the thing that I found with this is that this plan is, as I said to you at the start, it is so powerful. It has helped me through good days and bad, through overwhelm and not overwhelm, through creativity spikes and creativity slumps. And that's all well and good. But as we know, like a plan without execution, a plan without implementation is useless, right? And the other thing that I've really found is accountability is really important as well. So if you're looking for some accountability with this, if you're wanting to I know that you will get 90 days worth of things done in a month, right? So it means that you're tripling your productivity essentially. 90 days of actions in 1 month with this. Then we're starting it this week with some pre-work and then officially starting next Monday. So the calls are happening live at 6 a.m. It's accountability calls and check-ins. So what are you working on? What are your focus points? Is there anything going to get in the way? No? Okay, great. Go off and do your thing. And then the next day, how did you go with that? Where are you up to? What do you need ass kicking over? And then, bang, off you go. And we're going to do that every day, Monday through Friday, for a whole entire month. Now, that to me, we've run this before. I ran it, I thought it was 2016. It was actually 2017. Now, I know that by implementing this and doing it, that you will get, we had one lady said that she got a month's worth of work done in a week. I know that we've had people do 3 months worth of work in a month. And it's not about trying to fit more hours into your day, right? That is not what this is about. This is not about trying to make you do more. It's more about you being smart around your implementation, being smart around the accountability that you're provided and that kind of thing, right? It's not about it's really about doing more with less, I suppose, if that makes sense. So what we're doing, let me just pop in a comment in there. That didn't work at all on how you can join and come on board with all of that. I guess the thing that I have seen over and over again has been where people, they might go into training. So this isn't about training. This is not, it's training your muscle, but it's not about you guys going, okay, this is the latest strategy that you need to implement or the latest, hack that you need to do or whatever, or the latest marketing technique. It's more about you using what you've already got and leveraging off that, right? And literally implementing the stuff that you already know. So of course, if you've got questions about marketing or if you've got questions about messaging or if you've got questions about anything, actually, feel free to, go ahead and ask them. But most importantly, it's really more about you getting the stuff done that you need to get done in your day. So that is that. Now, remember, if you want a copy, I don't understand why this comment is not working. That is really irritating. All right, let me go like that. We just gotta love live streams, right? Where what you want to do works and what you don't want to do doesn't, or what you want to do doesn't work and what you don't want to do does work. It's just a little bit annoying. So there you go, everybody. I am going to love you and leave you, set you free about your day. If you want a copy of this planner so that you can actually plan it out for yourself, let me know. I'll need your email address because I don't actually have an opt-in page for it. It's just you're going to have to give me your email address and I will send it to you. All right. Have a really great and amazing day. I can't wait to chat with you guys tomorrow on The Awesome Show. And tomorrow we are, what are we talking about? We're talking about something fabulous. It's episode number 6. I can't see closely what we're talking about, but it will be something excellent and amazing at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I look forward to seeing you then. Meanwhile, get out there, go kick some ass, have a whole lot of fun being visible, go help your people, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.